So you want to be an electrician in the state of Florida. Let's talk about it. I'm a licensed electrical contractor in the state of Florida with 37 years experience. My company's been around for 29 years. And I attended an apprenticeship program back in 1988, and that's where I got my start. And that's what I want to tell you about. There's several apprenticeship programs in Florida, across Florida, anywhere in Florida. Everything from programs like Valencia College, Technical College, to FEAT. FEAT is a, F-E-A-T is a program where your employer sponsors you and you have to go to school. And I'm not sure the term on that apprenticeship with FEAT. I'm more familiar with the last one, I'll tell you. But FEAT is a good program. Lots of good electricians turn out from the apprenticeship program of FEAT. But the one that I attended in 1988 was in Fort Lauderdale, and it was with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. So it's a trade union. It's an apprenticeship school through the trade union. I didn't have to get strapped down with student debt. I didn't have a loan. All I had to pay for was books every year. And if you were the top performer, which I was not, your books were free. Just like in Orlando today, I believe there's still a program where if you're the top performer in their program, your books are free. But on average, I hear it's around $500 a year for books. But that's not bad. $500 a year to become a licensed electrician. It's free. Everybody loves free. So when I refer anybody, I tell them to call down to the IBEW and ask about their apprenticeship. It doesn't matter, male, female, whatever. You just need to have some basic math skills like algebra. Believe it or not, algebra, every time you talk to somebody like, oh, I took algebra in high school, I'll never use it again. As an electrician, you use it all the time. And I could get into that, but trust me, you're going to use algebra all the time. So you have to pass basic algebra test as an entrance exam. Then you're going to start out as a first-year apprentice and learn electrical theory. This entire program, again, is free, and it teaches you a career, not just a job, a career. So I'm going to tell you my story. So in 1988, I was in high school down in Ely High School in Pompano Beach, and about 2 months away from graduating, and my dad comes into my bedroom and he says, son, if you want to go to college, Mom and I will do whatever we can to help you go to college. And I was kind of like, I'm in school. It's like senior skip day every other day at the end of the year. We're just like partying all the time. I'm worrying about what kind of wax to wax my Camaro with. How good does my mullet look? And which girl am I taking out on Friday? That's all I was concerned about. So I'm like, no, Dad, I don't want to go to college. I'm going to stick around here. So he looked at me with that look that dads give sons, and I could tell he thought I was a dumbass, and he wasn't wrong. So he left the room. A couple weeks later, I think I was about 2 weeks away from graduating, and he comes back in the bedroom and says, son, if you're not going to go to college, you're going to need to get a job. So I've called down to my carpenter's hall apprenticeship, and I'm going to get you a job as an apprentice carpenter, just like I did, just like your brother did. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to be a carpenter. Like, it was kind of a pompous little kid. But I told him honest. I'm like, Dad, you come home every day complaining that you don't make enough money. You're covered in sawdust and drywall dust. Who makes more money than a carpenter and doesn't have to get as dirty? And he says, well, plumbers make the most. And I was like, hey, I'm not messing with doo-doo. Not this guy. He goes, well, electricians make the second most, but they're a bunch of prima donnas. Here I am, 37 years later. I guess I'm a prima donna. I'm a licensed electrical contractor. I employ 14 people, and I'm a prima donna. But the bottom line of this story was Dad talked me into a skilled trade, into a trade school, into an apprenticeship program. And that has fed my family for many years. And now I have 2 sons that work with me, that it's also feeding their families. It's an excellent career choice. Wages in Florida aren't as much as other states, but if you go through the apprenticeship program that I'm telling you about, you can take your certifications to other states and make even more money, and then come back here and live in what I consider one of the best states to live in. Of course, my opinion means absolutely nothing because I've only ever lived here. But nonetheless, if you're thinking about joining an electrical apprenticeship program, you got questions, reach out to me. I've got a lot of experience in the trade and a lot of answers for you, and I can direct you to the right spot.